Maya Angelou was loved the world over. She inspired and blessed us with her presence and has been sorely missed since her transition. Would it surprise you to know that she's been keeping an eye on activities here on Earth? During our conversation, she talked about working in higher dimensions, the team who are facilitating Gaia's evolution, and along the way, she shared a whole lot of wisdom and truth. Please stay till the very end so that you don't miss the sacred and profound message Maya was eager to share with you. Hi, I'm Debbra Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records, bringing you a message from Maya Angelou. I wasn't expecting to talk to Maya. I actually went into meditation looking for Metatron. But after several minutes, nothing was forthcoming. Then I remembered Maya had popped into a previous conversation. So I decided why not call out to her and see if she was ready to talk. Maya, are you willing to come forward for a conversation now? Is there anything you'd like to share? Maybe some of your incredible wisdom? I can feel her warmth, but I'm not getting any words yet. Then Maya speaks. Nonsense. Of course you can hear my words. This is what you do, and a mighty fine job of it indeed. Well, thank you, Maya. I'm honored. So what do I call you, Miss Angelou? Maya replied, you may, of course, call me Maya, as we're going to have a friend-to-friend conversation. I'm deeply grateful to you for agreeing to speak with me, Maya. She replied, of course. If there's something I can do to help, I'm happy to oblige. Well, Maya, I wasn't expecting to reach you today, so I don't have any questions prepared. That's quite all right. Let's just talk and see where the conversation leads, shall we? That sounds perfect. Is there anything you want to begin with? Well, yes, I've been keeping an eye on activities on your side. Things sure have gotten complicated, haven't they? Complicated is putting it lightly. It's a downright chaotic mess. Yes, I can see why you might think that, but actually, from over here, it doesn't look that much worse than other challenges the world faced during my lifetime. Each generation always seems to think they're facing Armageddon, when in fact, that's a myth. Your world is not going to end anytime in the foreseeable future. Seasons come and seasons go. Right now, you're in a season of fear and confusion. My, oh my, so many confused folks running around like chickens with their head cut off. No wonder there's so much upsetment. If folks would just slow down and take a couple of deep breaths, they might see that they're creating the dust up that has them so upset. All that running around with an oh, woe is me attitude has created quite a storm. That won't change for them until they run out their life or collapse in exhaustion from whence they can see a different reality. Do you have any sage advice about how to help those disturbed individuals? Oh, honey, just love them. That's all you really can do because they're not ready for anything else. I've heard and felt that sage wisdom from other sources, but somehow it doesn't feel like enough. Yes, I know you want to take a more proactive approach, but you see, that would mean interfering with their journey. They're not going to escape the fear and confusion until they're ready. And for some, that might not happen until they meet their maker. So you mean it's hopeless? No, far from it. Have faith that things will work themselves out. Love and light always come out on top in divine timing. There are far bigger issues at play than you can imagine. Light and dark forces battling one another on different planes of existence. That energy spills over onto your world and replicates itself. I've not heard that before. Can you elaborate? Why would battles on other planes affect us? Because you're connected. The forces of light on the higher plane are working to secure your future as well as their own. The energy is inextricably connected. So it's simple fact that it impacts you. Are there people or beings on our level from that higher plane causing the fear and chaos here, or does it seep down on its own? Some of each. There are instigators who travel to your level, spreading seeds of unrest and chaos. They have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. It suits them just fine. Just as their energy seeps down to you, so does discordant energy from your plane move up to them, thus feeding and expanding off one another. If discordant energy flows both ways, how about positive energy? Why, yes, of course. Polarity is at play across the multiverse. It's just that the amperage has been turned up on the dark side so that it's more noticeable. Not enough light workers have stepped up to play their part. That's left you with an imbalance, giving darkness an opportunity for which they're all too eager to take advantage. I'm confused. This message is lacking coherence and seems to be going nowhere. Exactly right. Just as your world is presently lacking coherence and caught up in stagnant energies. At this point, I had to pause the conversation. We picked it up again several hours later. Hi, darling. Nice to visit with you again. Hi, Maya. Likewise. I'm looking forward to soaking up more of your loving wisdom. Why, thank you. Then let's get right to it, shall we? We were talking about the mixed up, crazy mess of a time you're living through and how it's actually a natural part of the cycle. It's been going on since the beginning of time. When the pendulum shifts further one way than another, you feel it. You may not know exactly what has changed, but you'll feel the disparity. Some will lean into fear, which will spread like wildfire through the population, while others will know it's a new challenge and they'll formulate new strategies to compensate so that they might continue moving forward on their soul journey. Because polarity is the natural state, events will eventually work themselves out until balance is restored and the next cycle begins. I had to interrupt our conversation for an appointment, so we put it on hold one more time. Okay, I'm back. Are you ready? I'm ready, honey. Can I ask how you say your last name? It's Lou, Angelou. So Maya, how are you occupying your time these days? Are you involved in special projects, working on yourself, relaxing? What is your present grand passion? Oh Lord, there's a lot to be excited about, a regular smorgasbord of projects to choose from. I spend a portion of my time in quiet contemplation because the priority is working on my own expansion. I'm studying timelines to choose my next entry point to Earth. And because I am planning on coming back, I'm also involved in assisting with the rebirth of Gaia from this side. So that would make you a fifth dimensional doula? She laughs. I suppose you might describe it that way. There's much to do, and I'm working with a like-minded team. You'd be surprised how much influence we have over here. Can you elaborate on what that looks like? Well, we don't have days in the sense that you do. Time spans on endlessly, but we're able to divide chunks to devote our attention to as we choose. Are you able to split yourself so that you can multitask, or do you stay focused as one being? Yes, we're able to split our focus, or we may choose a concentration of focus. Ultimate flexibility depending upon our objectives and desires. It's taking being a sovereign soul up about a dozen notches, she chuckles. Can you explain how or what you're doing on behalf of Gaia now? I, along with my compatriots, Team Gaia we call ourselves, are monitoring her physical self along with activities happening on her outer surface. We comfort and soothe her when she feels overwhelmed. Yeah, she does feel that at times. This is a challenging expansion for her as well as for you. We call in reinforcement teams when she needs a boost of energy to address a particular challenge. We help her patch energy leaks when they occur. We even sing her lullabies. In addition to seeing to her personal needs, we monitor the activities on the surface and apply our energy to bear wherever it's helpful. We cannot, of course, interfere, but we can be an encouraging presence that might perhaps tip things in Gaia's favor. That sounds a lot like what we think of as angel activities. Yes, we do work side by side with angels. They have more experience and are able to direct our efforts in the most productive directions. We hold space to facilitate eventualities. That's a vitally important part of our contribution. You might think of it like Moses parting the Red Sea. We hold back the pounding waves, creating a temporary eddy for intercession at the third dimensional level. We assist in making the impossible possible. You'd be astonished at how often that happens. So, yes, we divide our focus amongst our passion projects. As our time draws nearer to the next incarnation, we shift more focus to Gaia if she's our intended landing place. Have you planned when you'll return? Of course, I've thought about it. Right now, I'm entirely too caught up in my passion projects. There's no hurry. There's also a need to factor in timelines of other souls with whom I plan to interact in my next life. A great deal of negotiation and coordination goes into those arrangements. Beyond all of that, each soul needs to allow adequate space to plan and execute the very best incarnation opportunity. As you'd say, there's a lot of working parts. What else would you like to share with us, Maya? Anything you want to say about your lifetime as Maya? She releases a contented sigh. It was a good life, a hard one at times, but a very good effort. I lived a consequential life, made some delicious ripples in the pond. It was most satisfying when all was said and done. I left that precious, worn-out body without regret. It served me well. We had quite the adventure together. Do your best each day so that you don't reach the end with a pile of regrets trailing after you. Make your choices, follow through to completion. It's really pretty simple. Just be the best you that you can be. Let your heart be filled with love and freely share it with everyone. That's the best recipe to cure a whole host of ills. Love is the key. Love is the answer. Nothing matters more than that. Then she beamed one of her enigmatic smiles at me and departed. She made it really simple, didn't she? Do your best every day, no regrets, and send unceasing love. That's the recipe for a consequential life, one that will leave you feeling complete when you reach the end. I hope that you enjoyed Maya's message, and I'm super excited to share with you that that's only part 1. Part 2 is coming next week because, as it turned out, she did have more to say. Thank you for watching. This is Debbra Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records, sending you love and abundant blessings.